Yeah, Nikita, we are good to start. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ramnik. Every ending is a new beginning. We are officially at the end of the grand international event IEEE YESIST12 2021. Greetings to all the inspiring dignitaries, strong personalities, young innovators, highly active volunteers, and well-wishers to this closing ceremony of IEEE YESIST12 2021. It's a pleasure and privilege in welcoming you all on this great time of the day. As the world strides to a post-pandemic reality, it is our responsibility to find new innovations and effective methodologies to solve humanitarian and social issues. Well, here we are. IEEE SS12, the international talent show for young innovators, is ready with some bright projects evaluated for the past 2 days, which are promising to solve multiple problems faced by our humanity. For our keynote session, I take immense pleasure and pride in welcoming Dr. Forrest Schul, IEEE Computer Society President 2021, to deliver the keynote of IEEE SS12 2021. Dr. Forrest Schul is a lead for Defense Software Acquisition Policy Research at Carnegie Mellon's University's Software Engineering Institute. His role is to lead work with the U.S. Department of Defense, other government agencies, national labs, industry, and academic institutions to advance the use of empirically grounded information to inform policies related to software engineering. He has been a lead researcher on projects for the U.S. Department of Defense, NASA's Office of Safety and Mission Assurance, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the National Science Foundation, and commercial companies. While editor-in-chief of IEEE Software from 2011 to 2014, he launched the digital edition of the magazine, leading to new subscribers. Since 2015, he has been a board member of the Computer Society Board of Governors, and since 2016, he has served on the executive committee, where he helped institute a metrics-based portfolio review initiative, which reviews all the society's membering offerings for vitality and ongoing relevance to membership. He's a senior member and a Computer Society Golden Core member. He received his PhD in 1998 from the University of Maryland, College Park. He is the author of over 100 peer-reviewed publications and co-editor of a handbook on empirical software engineering. The stage is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that very nice introduction. And again, thank you for the invitation, because I'm very, very happy to be here today and have the chance to make a few remarks here in our closing ceremony. If someone could bring up my slides, please. I have a small presentation I wanted to walk through today. And as a keynote, I often feel like the best keynotes are ones that are thought-provoking. And so I don't want to overload you with technical details here at the end of our event, but I do want to put some thoughts that we've put together in a study about where we're going in the future. So specifically, as was announced, I work at Carnegie Mellon in the United States, and specifically looking at software engineering. And so the thoughts that we've put together here are where software is going. And much of this is going to be very US-centric, because that's the domain and the context I know the best. But I think that most of the lessons learned, what we're finding are that these are going to be very globally relevant. So anyway, I just want to put that caveat out there, that this is based on the domain that we know best. Be very happy to get any thoughts. And if you go one more slide, please, about how things fit. But I do have two hats today. So first, I wanted just to mention, as president of the IEEE Computer Society, one of the things I feel it's important to announce is that this is our 75th anniversary year. And so when we get to a milestone like that, it's important, I think, to take stock of where we've come, where we're headed. And as you can see on the slide, the Computer Society today, I don't think that we necessarily might have envisioned 75 years ago how far we would come. But we are today the hub of a global community. And I think that that's important, the fact that our technical profession is a global one. We reach, I say customers, but people that consume the technical content that we produce in the society around the world. And almost 250,000 customers in 168 countries and with 581 chapters all around the world. And those numbers are probably even slightly out of date over the course of the year. But one of the things I've tried to do with our anniversary year is not to look back, not to look at where we've come, because that's important and there's lessons learned there. But what I've been more concerned about is looking forward, saying where are we going and where is the community going? Because the Computer Society at heart needs to be something that supports the community and helps people like yourselves, in our technical profession, do what they need to do to advance their careers and advance the state of the practice. And so looking forward is one of the things we can do to make sure that we're positioning ourselves to be in the right places and doing the right kinds of activities. And so from that point of view, I'm looking forward in a little bit later in the ceremony, we'll be talking about project-based learning and why that's so important to us. But for now, let me just say that it's very important for the Computer Society to be connected to the up-and-coming researchers and up-and-coming practitioners like yourselves, as well as the up-and-coming technologies, and making sure that we're positioning ourselves in the right places to support that. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, one more, there we go. But what I wanted to talk about today, briefly at least, is the study that we ran at Carnegie Mellon. And I'll talk briefly, and for the same reasons. Carnegie Mellon has a very special role in the US, and I'll talk about that in a second. But we also see ourselves as trying to support this global community. And so to do that, we ran a study to make sure that we understood where things were headed. And I'll talk briefly today about what motivated us to do that, the methodology we used, and then I think more importantly, kind of what we came out with, where we think things are headed. And it's, I think it's a little bit ironic in a way. This is our communities in the US best attempt to articulate where things are going. But what occurred to me this morning as I put my final thoughts together on this was that we're trying to envision the future that by and large you all will be living. And so we're trying to think that this is the profession that I expect that you all will be growing up in and making your careers in. So hopefully we've done a good job here for you. And we've probably gotten the details wrong. It's very hard to predict with any certainty where our field is going. But I think that the thought of it and putting the effort into it, hopefully generating some thoughts today with you all, will be a useful exercise. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so first, why did Carnegie Mellon do this? Well, we have a kind of a special role in the United States. So the Software Engineering Institute at Carnegie Mellon is a special kind of entity. It's what's known as a federally funded research and development center. And so we are part of the university, but we're specifically set up to be a bridge between academia, between government, and between industry, not only in the US, but most specifically in the, but also around the world. So we have a very large mandate. Our charge is to improve the state of the practice with software engineering, and especially over the last few years, areas of software engineering that we've seen grow in importance have gotten their own part of our institute. So cybersecurity has a division within us, and then AI engineering, the most recent one that was just stood up this year. Okay, next slide, please. And the reason that we did this was it's become more and more, and again, this is very US centric, but I'm sure the same is true in India as well as our other regions around the world. But it's been more and more obvious that software is vital to a lot of national interests, that have risen up all the way to the US Congress and to other senior stakeholders in our elected government. So people are understanding, I think, more than ever, that software, and I'll say computing writ large, I focus on software, but this is true of our whole computing profession, is particularly critical for global competitiveness, for innovation, and for national security. Yeah, so, and I think everyone knows, I'm not saying anything surprising to anyone on the video here, but computing and software underpins our economy, our infrastructure, our education, our healthcare. Almost any any domain you can name nowadays is computing and software dependent. And from that point of view, I think it does behoove us to put a little bit of thought together about where things are headed and what are the challenges of the future to make sure that we're not surprised by negative things as they come along. So we had a lot of goals for the study that we did, but the main one was to really identify what those future challenges are for software reliant systems. And then to put together a roadmap that would say, here's where we think we're headed. Excuse me. And here's the areas where we need to maybe bring the community together to work a little bit harder on to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to support the future professions. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. So before I even tell you about our study, one thing I wanted to do was take a step back, because one of our colleagues from the National Science Foundation in the US pointed out that we were, even though we didn't plan it this way, but we were right on target, because the software engineering community in the United States, every 10 years or so, takes a step back and does a workshop like the ones that we put together to kind of say, where have we come and where are we going? And I won't go through all the details here, but one thing I did want to show was just, looking at the workshops that were done in 2001 and then 2010, just the growth in the size of the systems that we were concerned about. So in 2001, the study that they did then was very impressed, by the fact that small teams of programmers could do systems of up to 100,000 lines of code or even beyond that. Today, that's a vanishingly small system, but at the time, that was where the state of the art was. In 2010, it was up to tens of millions of lines of code. And people at that time, there's lines in the report that talk about Google, for example, now dwarfing the greatest libraries in human history. They pointed to data that said at the time, if you believe the numbers, and I think there's some challenges with them, but for the best that people could say, maybe 1 in 10 people in the entire human population had an account with Facebook. And today, if you're interested, it's more like 1 in 3, supposedly. And I think one thing we've also learned over time is that we don't pay attention to lines of code so much anymore, because the measure of the capability that we're getting out in systems today is really not measured by lines of code, because a lot of them come from reuse, a lot of them come from libraries, but also a lot of our capability today relies on different applications, which are somewhat smaller, but all kind of crashing together and working together in this larger ecosystem that we're in. So it's very hard to measure the size and the impact of software when, as one of our study participants said, we all live in software today, which again, a little bit larger means we all live in computing. Our social profiles, our healthcare, our economy, like I said, everything else really comes from the computing systems that underpin us. And that's an important thing for us to recognize, I think. It talks about the scale of the challenges that we're all dealing with as we go forward as computing professionals. And then, like I said, I won't go through the details, but you can see there's also a theme from these earlier studies that talks about more and more of the capability becoming, I guess, repackaged, for a better sense. That we would never be able to build systems at the scale that we're building them today if we had to craft every line of code from scratch. So some of the progress that we've seen are things like APIs, middleware, interface generators. So where some of this capability gets generated automatically for me versus our developers having to go in and craft every single line of code from scratch every time. So what's really happened underneath it all, I think, is the idea that there's now an ecosystem. That when I do a new piece of software, I'm building on top of a huge technical stack and a lot of effort that's gone into commoditizing or making things that we used to have to do from scratch more easy to reuse. And then finally, I think the last thing I wanted to say here was that there's also a theme that goes through all these earlier studies, which is very important for us today. And that's that the demand, if you will, the types of systems that people want to be building always at least outstrips a little bit our capacity as engineers. So people are always pushing the envelope. There's always another set of challenges. And kind of coming along with that, I think at least in the US, we've often had trouble with the workforce as well, in the sense that we don't have enough software engineers to keep up with the demand. So we're continuing to push the envelope in terms of how sophisticated the systems are that we're trying to create, how many people we have available to do it, and how much we're asking them to do. And so those challenges have really continued into our modern day. And I think there are challenges as well that you will most likely see in your careers as we go forward. So making sure that we have a way to come up with some good answers here, I think is an important thing we can do for the profession. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so what we did for our study was we tried very hard to cast a broad net. We tried to survey the literature, look at the computing landscape, understand where we could find technologies that were really just emerging, getting a lot of hype or maybe being the next big thing, so we could understand how they're going to impact our systems that we build in the future. We did a literature review, and then finally, a lot of it was person-driven. So we tried to reach out to as many experts as we could to get their views on what they were doing today and where they could see the challenges that they were dealing with today, as well as the ones that they were worried about as we go forward into the future. We had a small team that tried to compile all this in a way that was readable, and we could kind of identify themes that came up over and over again, and those were the ones that we focused our study around. And then the real challenge, of course, is trying to pull all this together in a way that people can act on it. So I can tell you about these challenges, but what does it mean for us? And that's where we ended up at the end, was trying to make some recommendations for how we can do better as we go forward. Okay. So with the time that I have remaining, I'll talk about as much of this as I can. We'll see how distracted I get and which rabbit holes I go down. But anyway, suffice it to say, there's a lot here. And if we go to the next slide, there we go. What I really wanted to do was hit some of the major trends, like I said, that we saw across all of those inputs. So across the literature, across our experts, across the workshops that we were able to do. So what you see on the left side, left part of the slide here, by the way, are what types of systems we're expecting people will be trying to build in the next 5 to 10 years that will really push the bounds of the engineering that we can do. And we weren't really trying to do this. It wasn't our goal really to kind of predict what systems would be built. We were looking more at what engineering challenges we'd have to do. But it's hard to talk about engineering without saying what I think I'm going to be engineering with those tools. So on the left-hand side, we've kind of collected the types of things that we heard from all of our participants. Certainly within the defense space, such as where we sit at the SEI at the moment, that's our primary customer. Again, I think this is a worldwide trend as well. What we see is a rapidly moving space. And let's even abstract it up from defense for the moment. I think any system that we're building today is going to sit in a context where we always have to worry about cyber attacks. We always have to worry about not only individual actors, but nation states and what the global politics of the time might be doing and how that's going to affect what kind of attacks our systems are seeing. And so what we're finding is that these systems need to be more adaptive over time. One of the other trends that we've seen through all of our reports and then into our study is that we need to get away, or there's been a movement away in the field from this supposition, I guess, that I can predict all the requirements of my system up front. We certainly, I think, have done enough experience to know that for any very sophisticated system, I really can't predict everything up front. And so we've moved into a mode where we're much more adaptive, much more agile, to use the software term, trying to get something that's good enough and put that in front of our users or put that in context and then see how it works in practice and then adapt it from there. That's turned out to be, in general, not for every system, but in general, a much more meaningful strategy, I think, than trying to predict up front, years in advance, all the things that we're going to have to be able to do. So we need our systems to be more adaptable. We need them to be doing data fusion at a huge scale. I think one of the things that was maybe hinted at in those earlier studies, but I'm not sure that anyone had a good vision of where we would be today, is just how data rich the world is that we live in. So it's still a challenge, but it's much easier to get our hands on lots of data. The real challenges as we go forward in engineering is what we can do with it, making sure that we can do something meaningful with all that data to make our systems or make our world a better place. Looking again at more engineered business enterprises, certainly there's going to be a continuing huge demand for software and computing within businesses. Personal digital assistants that really assist. I think we've seen some of this over time, that people using automation to take more and more of the cognitive load off of humans, because I think all of us in every context around the world are being asked to do more and more than we've ever done before. And I think it's almost a survival strategy to say we need to push some of that onto our computing assistants. Integrated healthcare, certainly, and then of course smart everything, smart cities, smart buildings, smart roads. I certainly think that one of the ways that we need to look at humanitarian things, which I know is an area of expertise for everyone on the phone here, is being able to be more efficient by having our systems talk to each other and make trade-offs and make compromises, if you will, across our systems that we can't just keep up with the pace to do manually. And so that's, again, that gives you a sense of kind of where we thought we were headed with the engineering that needs to be done. And what does that mean for an engineer of software or of computing systems? Certainly it means that we're working more at scale than we've ever done before. And that's good and bad, actually. I think one of the things I've heard the most about from our Computer Society members this year is some of the worries and anxiety that they have around these social scale systems. I think we used to be very naive about something like Facebook or Google, for example, being able to help us all communicate everywhere as if that was only a good thing. And now certainly in the US, for example, we've seen a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulty around people pushing out misinformation or disinformation around elections, around vaccines, around things that really impact the society writ large. And so we need to do a much better job of understanding what that means for us as computing engineers. Assured software evolution. So like I said, I think one thing that we've learned is that software is never done. And writ larger, computing is never done. That is, once we put them out there in the world, these systems tend to evolve and take on a life of their own if they're useful and if there's a user demand for them. And we can't typically predict necessarily where that evolution needs to go, but we need to be adaptive and we need to be looking at user feedback as we get there to help us direct those things in the right way. Again, and I think one of the reasons I'm so thrilled actually at the type of event that we have here with the IEEE YESIST is being able to address those workforce gaps. We need people to be brought up into the profession and aware of all the practical, not only the challenges, but the technologies that are out there, right? So that we can engineer these systems well and have confidence in them as we go forward into the future. Okay. Part of that, like I said, is going to be AI related. So I think we've spent a lot of time as software engineers in particular, thinking about how we build AI systems. They're challenging, right? If the system is supposed to learn, it's going to be hard for me to say whether it's learned the right thing, right? Because it might go in unexpected places that I can't necessarily easily test for. But I think one of the things that we need to do to deal with this demand and deal with this additional sophistication in our systems is to bring AI into the other side of the equation, for the AI to help us as software engineers do a better job of engineering the systems in the first place and dealing with all the sophistication and technology. And then finally, along with that is this idea of evidence-based assurance. If I put a system out there that's going to help me direct, so part of my smart city, right? I'm going to help direct traffic. I'm going to have cars talk to one another and drive decisions based on that. Self-driving cars, for example, which we've started to experiment with now. We need to have a lot of confidence in those systems. And part of that is not going to, and these systems are at such scale, I can't just look at it today and give it a clean bill of health, right? So I have to be able to understand the bits and pieces, understand all the components that go into that system and how much confidence I can have in them, and then continue to keep that level of confidence rolling along into the future. So as the system adapts and changes, how does my level of confidence change as well? So I think one of the things we've seen experimentation with, and I think something that will hopefully pay off, is that this idea that I bring assurance cases with me. So I understand the provenance, I understand where these components have come from and what kind of testing or assurance we've done on them. And I need to keep that kind of as a first-class citizen of my engineering as I go forward in time. And so how we manage that, I think, is still to be determined. Let's see, and I think the other issues I've talked about here. So let's go on to the next slide, please. Okay. So finally, to bring it all together, what we kind of came up with as the punchline of our study, as the emerging vision of where we're going, is what I've tried to put there at the top of the slide. So what we see in the future, and again, this is going to be very relevant for anyone on the phone who sees themselves with a future in software, or I think computing writ large, is that we expect to see the paradigm move away from, let's say, the manual human-centric software engineering of today. We expect to see things happen more as a what we call a software pipeline. So rather than go through discrete phases of requirements, design, code, test, see much more of an automated pipeline underneath us, where the code kind of moves through all those phases with a lot of automation to help keep up with the pace and the engineering that needs to happen. But more than that, seeing AI come in as trustworthy collaborators to help us continue to make these systems rapidly evolve. And hopefully being able to get to the point where we can depend more on user intent. So we don't expect humans to necessarily work in the very constrained mathematical formal engineering space that we've had to before, but allow some of our human users to express things at a higher level, and then let the AI and the automation help fill in some of the gaps about what the system really needs to do. So that is a challenging vision. That's pretty far away from where we are today, I'd say. But what I've tried to do here on the rest of the slide is just accumulate the lines of thought about why we think we can get there. Okay, so the top three are what we call advanced development paradigms. Kind of how we're building the software, if you will, and where looking at trends there and where they're likely to go in the future. Okay, so again, we've already seen AI start to come into the equation, start to be an assistant for the human developers, and we expect that only to get better over time. I think there's a lot of research that's going on today, which is really trying to unload as much as we can of the repetitive tasks of the part of the engineering that is a little bit more cut and dried off of the humans, so that the humans can then focus on the creative parts, where we really need the human judgment. And if that can continue and even accelerate, I think that's how we see the AI coming in as much more of a trusted assistant rather than a off-the-side type of thing. Okay. Secondly, with formal assurance arguments. And one of the reasons that we're looking at this as something that's likely to continue into the future and do a better job for us is just the fact that we have a lot more computing capability now than ever before. So some of the things that we're seeing with automated testing, with DevSecOps in the US, the types of things where we can maybe not using AI so much today, but automate a lot of the testing that gets done, automate continuous checks about some of our quality and security attributes. These are not new ideas, but they're feasible today because we have enough computing power that a lot of tests can run in a short amount of time. And again, these are trends that we expect to continue as well. So we expect to see much more of this automation come into play. And when I can automate, I can start to collect that data, I can start to process it, I can carry that along with the actual code and computers that I'm coming up with at the end. And then thirdly, the idea of doing better with software composition. So if you're at all familiar with software development today, you know that a lot of it comes from reusing libraries. We're building on top of environments or ecosystems that are already out there today. So I don't have to do everything myself. I can bring in a lot of the capability and then build on top of it. Where we've always fallen down before, though, is by understanding kind of the context of each of those systems, where it works and where it works well. And then what if I bring that into a new context? You know, how a lot of times we see things, you know, that the engineering I did that worked in one context doesn't work in my new place, and it has disastrous effects in some cases. And there's a lot of work that's going on to help us deal with that. And I think in some ways we've benefited from relaxing the problem. So we're not trying so much, or at least in some of the lines of research, not trying to predict exactly what the system will do, but at least we'd like to say that we can assuredly close off some of the bad cases and at least have confidence that we're not going to end up in a disastrous place with our system as we see some of these emergent trends. And then the bottom three talk more about the architectural paradigms that we're building on top of, if you will. Because I think one of the fun and challenging things about working in computing and software is that, you know, we're trying to build systems today with a set of engineering techniques, and those engineering techniques themselves are always changing underneath us, and the systems that we're trying to build in terms of the hardware and the underlying system are also changing. Okay, so we see one trend that I think is very, very positive is that more theories and techniques from the behavioral sciences are coming into play. And I really hope and pray that that kind of cross-disciplinary work continues in our profession, because I think we're waking up now to the fact that, you know, these systems all are meant to be used by humans. If we're not accounting for those human qualities in the systems we're building, we're setting ourselves up for something failure and disastrous. Secondly, and I've put quantum-enabled systems here as an example, but I think it's really just one of many. You know, we're looking ahead to I think quantum computing is really in its infancy at the moment, but there's enough happening there that we do expect this to continue and to be productive over time. And so we tend to see these systems, you know, by themselves, it will be challenging, but also what you have to think about is quantum coming into the larger ecosystem. You know, so I might be able to use an app on my phone, and that sends a query off to something that might go to a supercomputer. It might go to the, you know, the large Google Googleplex. It might go to a quantum computer in the future and kind of take some results and bring them back to me on the phone. So how these things all play together will again expand our capabilities. And then finally, again, AI not only coming in to help us, but the AI systems that we'll build will be, I think, as we go forward, more predictable, more able to take on some of the larger sets of capabilities in the future to get us with the even more sophisticated functionalities that we need to get to. And with that, I think I'm almost out of time. So let's go ahead, if you could, to I think my very last slide. One more. Oh, one more. There we go. So again, I said most of what I wanted to say on those other slides in the earlier ones, but again, what I want to leave you with, though, is the impression that we're in a very dynamic and very exciting field. And that's good and bad. It means that you're going to have to be continuous learners throughout your whole career. Because the techniques and the practices that you're learning today and the ones that you apply for the competition here, you know, will assuredly be out of date within a few years because the field just continues to advance so quickly. That's a good thing and a bad thing. I think that one of the things I'd like to leave you with is the thought that we need to do a better job of research as we go forward, to make sure that we're really addressing some of these very practical things that we've seen with the systems that we're trying to build in terms of research that's really going to be able to get out and have an impact. And so whatever your future career profession, whether it be as a practitioner in computing, whether it be as a researcher, whether it be as a manager, I would challenge you, and I hope that you'll be able to stay abreast of some of these larger trends, and understand how we can help the research address them, and keep these things connected. I always like to say that one of the things I think we'll see in the future is that up until now, we've had a big trade-off to make in software and computing. I can either get things out quickly, and typically that means the quality is not quite there, but I can build on it, or I can get things really well engineered, have a lot of trust in them, but that takes a lot of time. And I think as we go forward, this level of automation, this level of AI that's coming into things will help blur that distinction. So hopefully we'll be able to do both get capabilities out quickly and have them be really what we call exquisitely engineered, so that they'll be confident, we can have confidence and trust in them. And I also want to leave you with the thought that tomorrow's software challenges are going to look different from the ones that we've had up until now. So if I look at my own career, where things have come in time up until this point, we've spent a lot of time worried about how I build software systems that are going to be constantly available, reliable. So we've had these, what we call the IEEEs. They have to be maintainable. They have to be things I can sustain over time. And these are difficult engineering challenges, and I think we've made progress on them, but they will not go away. But the demands for the system of the future, because they are working at now social scales, like I said, are going to look very different. They're going to add on some things on top of that, I believe. So we'll be looking for systems that are transparent. If software and computing systems are making decisions about me as a person and using my data, I'd like to be able to know that. I'd like to be able to know what they're saying about me so that I have a chance to fix it if something's going really wrong. As a global community, I think we're demanding now more than ever that they be free from bias, that they don't be set up so that they're producing good results for one part of our population and ignoring or producing bad results for others. And so we have to take care of these things. And in privacy, I think, again, we're in a data-rich world, but one thing that we've learned is how important it is to have control over my own data, or at least be able to keep some of it back, so that we do have a sense of privacy. Because if we don't, it's very easy to engineer it away. So we always have to be on guard about that. And then finally, and I think the reason that we're all here today, actually, is that a lot more new approaches are needed for talent and workforce development. So things like YESIST, where we can get our hands dirty, get experience using the technologies and use that to build ourselves up as better professionals, I think are the wave of the future. And so I'm really thrilled that we have the chance to support something like this event today. I'm very thrilled that you're all here actually and participating in it, because it makes me feel very good, and it makes me feel from a society point of view that we're also learning and understanding where the demands of the future are. So with that, anyway, I've done a lot of talking, but thank you very much for your attention. Again, thank you for being here, and I look very much forward to seeing what the results are of the competition here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Forrest Schul, for your wonderful words about envisioning the future of software engineering. We are extremely delighted to have gained such valuable insights on this front. You have to find what sparks a light in you so that you, in your own way, can illuminate the world. To begin this wonderful session, let's invoke the Almighty with a spiritual song by our dear volunteer, Mr. Ramnik Kalra. Over to you, Ramnik.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Let me just go ahead and so that I can just 1 second. Yeah, I hope you are able to see me properly now on the stage. Nikita, can you please confirm?
Ramnik.
Yeah, okay.
You can see you.
Let me bring my instrument, then I will start.
Okay.
Okay, a very warm greetings to everyone. I'm gonna present a spiritual song today. It's gonna be in, I would say, Punjabi language. That's a language in North India. And I hope praying is actually irrespective of the language we use. It depends upon the rhythm and the meaning we are bringing out of it. So today, spiritual song will like it depends upon the meaning, like where devotee is trying to say, due to this COVID-19, we are actually separated by a lot of things. And through this, we are trying to, I would say, pray to God that please come to us, please help us out. And with that, I'm going to start now. आजा शाम रसिया मेरे मन बसिया, आजा शाम रसिया मेरे मन बसिया, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा, आजा शाम रसिया मेरे मन बसिया, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा, आजा शाम रसिया मेरे मन बसिया, आजा शाम रसिया मेरे मन बसिया, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण। सारी रात मैं तां अखां विच कटदी, सारी रात मैं तां अखां विच कटदी, दिन दिन मेरी उम्र जावे घटदी, दिन दिन मेरी उम्र जावे घटदी, दर्शन दे जा रसिया फेरा पाजा रसिया, दर्शन दे जा रसिया फेरा पाजा बसिया, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा, तेरे बिन है दिल हुण नहीं लगदा. Thank you, everyone. So with that, I would like to thank you, everyone. So with that, yeah, Pooja. Clapping. Thank you, everyone. So with that, let me just go ahead and share the slide and kickstart the closing ceremony.
Yeah. Thank you, Ramnik, for your melodious rendition of a song with such a beautiful and deep meaning. There are some people who live in a dream world, and there are some who face reality, and then there are those who turn one into the other. To welcome the eminent persons, respectful dignitaries, keynote speakers, and other members, we request Dr. N. Kumarappan, the chairman of IEEE Madras section, to deliver the welcome note. Over to you, sir.
Nikita, I believe he hasn't joined on the call.
Sir is not available. No issues. I will just take over. So very good evening, very good morning and afternoon. For some, it is midnight probably. So I would like to welcome every one of you for the wonderful closing ceremony of our IEEE YESIST12. I believe that we have our track chairs, our volunteers, our partners, our pilots from all over the world, and naturally the participants, and also our honorable guests. I would like to welcome every one of you. Thank you, Dr. Forrest Scholl, for such an inspiring and informative keynote. And first of all, I would like to thank Forrest for accepting my invitation immediately. So I welcome you, Forrest. I would like to welcome our guests, our partners, Deepa Shanai, Darwin Jose Raju, Praneeth, Vikarna Kumar Ghosh from Bangladesh, Bozana Pasik Duncan, our advisor and our mentor, Jayakandan sir, who has brought in our partnership from Rotary Club and also has been our advisor again. I would like to welcome every one of you. One more thing about this IEEE YESIST12 is it is a combination of so many things. We have invited students and young professionals, but the students start from the age of around 12. So we have people who are innovators from their early age, and we are encouraging them to bring in their innovative ideas and bring it to the platform of SS12 so that they can get as much as possible mentorship and also advice from the industry as well as the academia. So I would like to welcome every one of the participants also. One more thing is we have so many partners and sponsors for this. IEEE Computer Society has been our continuous sponsor and partner from the year 2016 when I started it first. So I would like to thank Eric for being a pillar of support for us to run this grand event. Apart from that, IEEE Hack has been a permanent sponsor. But right now, since we are running virtual one, we haven't asked for any sponsorship from them. Then I would like to welcome all the pilots across the world. I believe that we have around 35 pilots across the world for the 5 tracks. Out of them, the Innovation Challenge as well as the Junior Einstein track has the pilots. So I would like to welcome every one of the pilots and I would like to thank them also. While welcoming every one of you, I also would like to thank the committee members and volunteers who have put in their tireless efforts for this event. Though every one of them are engaged in their day jobs, they have been very dedicated, committed, and they have put in their best efforts to bring this to this height, I would say. Around 500 projects are being, 500 participants are involved for the finals alone. And while computing along the prelims as well as finals, we calculated that it would be around 3,000 to 3,500 students. Number of universities also have increased very much from the beginning to now. Around 100 universities have participated. So I would like to thank each and every one of the partners as well as the pilots across the world. And interestingly, I would like to say one word about our SS12 event. Yesterday, I got a call from one of the teachers from a polytechnic in UAE, from Oman. And she said, ma'am, thank you for this wonderful effort, because here the students cannot even talk one sentence of English and they wanted to present their findings. I had to motivate them, but they presented it themselves. And I had actually asked for special permission for presenting it along with them. I know that mentors are not allowed, but since these children will not be able to present, I asked for special permission. I was given special permission also to be there along with them. But these children, they took it upon themselves and they presented it very nicely. And all these are because of your platform, IEEE YESIST12. See, that is the thanks we should get from each and every one of the participants. So that gives us the satisfaction that whatever we are doing correctly. So I would like to thank the volunteers also for helping me run this IEEE YESIST12 to this wonderful heights. Thank you very much. I welcome every one of you again. Nikita, go ahead.
All right. I think Nikita has some issue from him. Am I perfectly audible?
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Ramlata ma'am, for welcoming our dear guests and volunteers. Next, we would like to request Dr. Forrest Schull, IEEE Computer Society President 2021, for a small fireside chat. As the world is advancing technologically, At times, we may have to inculcate new frontiers of learning as traditional methods become obsolete at times. Can you kindly explain how and why is project-based learning important in today's world?
Sure, certainly. Well, I think it's critically important is the short answer. And so that's why I'm so thrilled, to be here today and have the chance to talk to you all, and that so much work has gone into an event like this one. There's several different levels, I think, in which project-based learning is so important. And first, the most obvious one, I think it's important to the learners themselves. So like I think we're all aware, we're in a very fast-moving field. And I think one of the things that we need to do is to make sure that we're continually staying abreast with the latest technologies, the latest practices, making networks so that we understand how other people are working through some of these problems. And that's the type of thing that I think we can get through project-based learning, which is very difficult to get in other circumstances. Beyond that, I would say that it's one of the things that helps people stand apart when they're looking for their, trying to further their careers and applying for jobs. At least my experience has always been that having something like that on a resume says that this is a self-motivated person, that this is someone who goes above and beyond and is willing to take the next step to bring their career along, to make sure that they're staying in touch and staying relevant. So I think from all those points of view, it's very important, critically important for each of us as learners. But I would go beyond that as well and say that for the larger ecosystem in our profession, it's also critical. And one of the problems I think we've had over time is sometimes that the research and the practitioner communities can get somewhat disattached from each other. I think one thing that we've seen with computing is that it is an engineering field, which means that we can come up with all kinds of great solutions and all kinds of great new technologies. But if they're not usable by engineers at the end of the day, then they don't really have the impact that we need them to have. And so from that point of view, I think that the project-based learning is very good for the larger ecosystem as well, that it's a way for all of us to keep our hands on what the state of the practice really does look like, how practical and relevant some of these things are. And so from that point of view, I think it's important for all of us, whether our future careers take us into being an engineer or a practitioner, or into management, or into research, that those skills, that understanding of what it really means to get our hands dirty with the technologies and actually produce something is critically important for all of us. And the more people that have that understanding, the better the profession as a whole will do.
All right, thanks for such an insightful answer, sir. So taking the previous question forward, we were discussing about project-based learning. So we would like to know what are the initiatives and steps taken up by IEEE Computer Society to support this agenda of project-based learning.
Good. Well, we've done a number of different things actually over the last couple of years, but I've tried with this year as myself as president, I've tried to invest a lot more in it too, because I do feel like this is one of our critical areas to really serve the community. So one is we've that's why I'm here today. We've been sponsors and supporters of events like this IEEE YESIST. We've tried also this year to generate some new student challenges of our own, so that we have a number of different opportunities where people can go and learn, maybe choose the opportunity that's most relevant for them or for the technologies that they're interested in. And I think the more of that we can do, the better. The more that we provide as a support for the for the community writ large. Secondly, we've tried to do a better job of sharing activities among our student chapters. And so what we see, for example, is our student chapters all around the world are helping students as part of their education have more project-based learning, have challenge projects. And part of that means that we can help collect what the instructions for the project are, the resources, the materials, everything else that you would need. And we've tried to do a better job of sharing that among our different student chapters, so that when someone invests the effort over here in one place, the whole global community can benefit from that, because it's now something available to them and another opportunity to get their hands dirty with the technology as well. And then finally, the part that's, I think, the furthest out, if you will, where we're trying to look a little bit more into the future, is to make sure that we're connected with industry as much as possible. Because what I really want to make sure is that these challenges that we're coming up with are really driven and informed by the state of the practice, the real practical needs of folks that are working in the profession and what it means for them. And so the more industry partners that we have and the more connected we are to what the industry is really dealing with in terms of challenges today, the more of that we can bring into our project-based learning and make sure that those projects are challenging, but also relevant and representative of what people will see in the larger workforce.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. So moving on to the next question, can you please help us understand what steps can one take to enhance their career using project-based learning?
So I think the answer to there is, I want to say two prongs. The first is, like I said, for all of us to take a little bit of extra effort to look for these opportunities and then use them when we can find them. So within the Computer Society, like I said, we're trying to make more of them available, but it really does require that us as learners then take the extra step to go out and find them, or to sort through and find the ones that's best aligned with my own with my own career needs, if you will, and then put the time in. So it needs to be a handshake from that point of view between societies like the Computer Society and all of us as individual learners. But the second part of the answer, and the one I would really love to leave people with as I get off the stage here, is to think about volunteering, so that as you go through and use some of these opportunities, think about whether you could give back, to become a volunteer for the Computer Society or for IEEE, and help run some of these events for other learners as you go into the future. For one thing, it's an amazing opportunity because these projects will evolve over time, to keep relevant with the latest technology and the state of the practice. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to to keep abreast of that as well and make sure that other parts of the community can benefit from it. But beyond that, I think that it also helps. Volunteering, I always say, is an opportunity for all of us to learn another set of technical skills, and that's related to leadership and what leadership means in our technical field. And so by giving something back to the community, by volunteering to help run these events, to help run an event like YESIST, for example, it builds another set of skills, which I think is very important for all of us to be productive members of the community. And if you've never had the chance to be part of that volunteer community, as Ramalata said, events like this take a huge amount of effort to run. And so that's why as I end up my remarks here, I would like to say thank you again to all the organizers for putting on something like this. And I hope that other members who have participated in the competition this time around will feel inspired to become volunteers and to help run it in the future and continue to make it a good resource for the community. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights. And I truly agree that volunteering is something that will help others and also build our skills as well. Thank you very much for reiterating that fact. So we are glad to have you here, sir, and we would like to felicitate you today. Kindly accept this small e-memento as a token of our gratitude.
Thank you. I'm very pleased. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you very much, sir, once again for the thought-provoking and an inspiring session. I would like to now pass on the mic to Aryan, my co-host, to carry on with the next part of the session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikita. So let us take the session forward. To become a better you, remember to be grateful to the people who have contributing, making you who you are today. So we take this opportunity to invite our partners to share their insights. Due to some unscheduled travel update, Dr. Deepa Shenoy ma'am is not able to join us now, but has shared her remarks just before the valedictory session. We would like to thank Deepa ma'am and R10 HCT for their immense support to YESIST12. Now, we are excited to listen Dr. Darwin Jose Raju, who is an IEEE senior member, associate professor and the head of Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering in Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering, Tamil Nadu, India. He has knowledge about electrical design in MEP services. Under his guidance, many of his students became IEEE members and have been awarded numerous scholarships and awards from IEEE societies and IEEE. Welcome, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Darwin, I think there is some voice issue from your end.
Now, so is it okay now?
Yeah, it is better.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, sir, it is better.
Good morning and good evening. All. I feel special to stand before you on this auspicious. First of all, I congratulate and appreciate the conduct SS tool every year in days with different teams in a unique way. This tries to develop young minds that helps the community. The SS tool is a must for today's youngsters. I am happy that IEEE Education Society Mega section chapter is part of Mega event. Today, everyone to work on innovative ideas and technologies that help the society to sustain. Also, I am happy really that the budding young engineers minds are aware of these concepts and their innovations with sustainable development in mind. They have the spirit to serve humanity, innovate technologies, and work for the benefit of society. The projects and ideas presented by the teams were commendable. I can witness their interest to grow higher and hope their experience with IEEE SS12 will help them achieve. I request all the teams to take their ideas to further levels, apply for patents, make them into products, and become enthusiastic entrepreneurs. Today, our society needs a lot of entrepreneurs and innovative ideas for sustainable development. IEEE also has enabled multiple funding opportunities for its members and motivates them with a wide range of recognition. Also, I believe this event has provided the opportunity for the teams to interact with experts and learn more. Best wishes to all the participants and volunteers who work behind. I hope even provided an interactive platform to bring together young minds of different disciplines from schools and colleges with the aim of collecting, exchanging, and promoting the knowledge and new advances in technology. I wish the team good luck to conduct the event every upcoming year successfully to inculcate the young minds to think innovatively to have a sustainable society. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for your great support and valuable points. Kindly accept this virtual token of appreciation as a token of gratitude on behalf of IEEE YESIST12 team. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So let us proceed. You live a new life for every language you speak. If you know only one language, you live only once. With this quote, let's welcome Mr. Praneeth, Manager Operations Japanese Plus SST Global, to deliver the talk on Japanese for Career Success. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Aryan, for introduction. Appreciation can change a day, even change a life. Your willingness to put it into the words is all that necessary. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one another present on this glorious occasion. I take this moment to thank Dr. Ramalata Marimuthu and the team IEEE Assist12 for this opportunity to meet you all here. As the host introduced, I'm from Japanese Plus SST Global. Our vision focuses on pioneering the partnership between Asian countries with Japan. Globally, Japan plays a major role in the field of engineering. Japan is the major hub of exports, which include vehicles, machineries, optics, robotics to different parts of the world. Currently, Japan faces a high demand for technically skilled young manpower, whereas the supply of technically skilled manpower in most of the Asian countries is surplus. We bridge this gap through our various activities, engaging ourselves with schools, universities, corporates, and governments. Japan has tremendous opportunities for the people from other countries in all levels like school students, graduate students, young professional, and business people. With a limited available time, I would like to quote only one opportunity, Sakura Science Scholarship Program. I believe this will benefit the audience gathered here. In order to create a sustainable world for the future, it is extremely important for countries and regions around the world to understand each other's situations and differences, to build a sense of mutual trust and realize social changes through science, technology, and innovation. Young talented people from other countries and regions are invited to Japan through Sakura Science Exchange Program in collaboration of industry, academia, government to introduce and offer experience in Japanese science and technology. Since 2014 and for a period of 6 years, over 33,000 young people visited Japan on this program. Students, researchers, and others engaged in science and technology who are 40 years old or younger from all the countries and regions are eligible to avail this opportunity on various activities. Their national language, which is Japanese, is commonly used in Japan for all communications like medium of teaching, official communications, etc. Considering the higher studies, job, and business opportunities in Japan for engineers and students from STEM background, we partnered with IEEE YESIST12. Through this partnership, so far we have approved 10 numbers of 100% scholarship worth 2,500 USD. Adding to this, we have approved 42 number of 75% of scholarship worth 7,875 USD. Totally, we have approved 10,375 USD worth scholarship to the finalist of IEEE SS12 from various pilots of Innovation Challenge track and Junior Einstein track to take up Japanese N5 level achiever course. If you are a finalist of Junior Einstein track or Innovation Challenge track, and if you missed to apply in previous call, kindly contact your pilot coordinator the nominations. On behalf of SST Global, I place my profound thanks to Team IEEE SS12 and pilots of various tracks for providing us this opportunity to engage with young inventors and budding entrepreneurs. Best wishes and congratulations to all finalists and winning teams of IEEE SS12 2021. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Praneeth sir, for your valuable inputs. Kindly accept this virtual token of appreciation as a token of gratitude on behalf of IEEE YESIST12 team. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Aryan.
All right. Let us proceed with the session. Leadership is the capacity to make the vision a reality. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Bikarna Kumar Ghosh, Additional Secretary to the Government of Bangladesh at ICT Division. He is also Managing Director at Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority. We are really obliged and we would like to welcome you, sir, and request you to take over the virtual podium. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aryan. Can I have the opportunity to share the screen for a short presentation?
Sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I shared the presenter role. Yeah.
The screen is perfectly visible, sir. Good to go.
Okay, thank you very much. So for next 5 or 7 minutes, I will be going through my presentation, Digital Transformation of Bangladesh. In this closing ceremony of IEEE YESIST12, we connected, to be connected, Mr. Junaid Ahmed Polo, Honorable State Minister for the ICT Division of the Government of Bangladesh. And also here I find the General Chair, Mrs. Ramalata Marimathu, also Deepa Shenoy, Darwin Zosraju, Praneeth Balasubramaniam, Mr. and also the advisor Bozana Pasik Duncan, and also other connected nearly 200 participants. I welcome you all and wish you a very, very good evening from Dhaka. At the very outset, I would like to pay my respect and gratitude to our father of the nation, who laid the foundation of our nation in 1971. And we are moving forward with his dream and the foundation he laid for us. We are also thankful for Honorable Prime Minister, who led us in realizing our dream of Vision 2021 that we are crossing and we are moving towards our next journey of dream, the Vision 2041, Bangladesh as a developed nation and also a knowledge-based society. Also pay thanks to Honorable ICT Advisor who is leading us for our journey, the architect of Digital Bangladesh, Mr. Shajiv Wajid. The basis of Digital Bangladesh is on 4 foundation stones. One is the industry development, second is the governance, e-governance, third is the connectivity, so connecting 170 million people, and last one is the human resources development. During the last 12 years, with the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, we have done a paradigm shift in different areas. Firstly, the infrastructure revolution. The first one type is in Dhaka and also in other division and larger districts. We already realized 2 high-tech parks, 1 are ongoing and 3 proposed coming to be. 3 software technology parks in Dhaka, 12 are coming, and 1 also in under process. In addition to those, in private sector, 13 software private technology parks already approved by us. And these are for the local and the global industries for investment. Second category coming for the districts and for the bigger one and for the academic area, we are on the way to complete 2 IT training and incubation center named after the father of the son of the father of the nation, Sheikh Kamal. 19s are ongoing and 46. So in total, it will be 64, 1 for each district, IT training incubation centers, and 2 business incubation center in our 2 districts, and education, training, and entertainment centers. We call it the edutainment in district level for 50 districts. Third level is for the different universities and academia. We already started our journey and completed 33 4th industrial revolution centers for our 33 universities. 14s are coming, so in total it will be 57. 18 digital entrepreneurship and innovation hubs are already started and may be going to be realized within next couple of years. The 4th tier, we are establishing the digital labs in our different schools and colleges for the students grading from 0 to 12. We already completed 8,000 of such digital labs. 5,000 is going to be completed by this year, and we are planning to complete another 10,000 by the span of next 2 or 3 years. So in total, it will be 23,000. So almost each and every colleges and most of the schools will have at least 1 digital labs. And 300 School of Future in the model of Finland, the most modern techniques for the primary school level, we are going to have within this year, and 65 language training labs in different districts. In our sub-districts, we are going to establish 555 digital service and employment training centers below the district level for the young entrepreneurs and also for the startups. For the union, we the lowermost tier of administration, we call it union, comprising about say 5 to 10 villages. Each and every union having 1 digital centers, and almost 1 billion digital services we provided for the very rural people during the last 10 years of our digital journey. these are the infrastructure. Now, what the facilities or incentives that we are providing from the high-tech parks from the government for the investors who are here? The 10 years cashback on export-oriented revenue, no tax or tax profit, 80% of the VAT exemption on utilities, tax discount for the foreign employees, dedicated one-stop services portal, 100% repatriation facilities for the profit and capital, 100% VAT exemption, and duty-free import on the fixed capital assets. These are the facilities and incentives we are providing for the investors. So what are the impact we got for these facility and also for this infrastructure? Right now, the volume of our digital commerce is cost $3 billion US, and it will be crossing 5 billion by 2023, and it is serving about 35% of our total population. For the digital finance, about the 72% of the transactions are through mobile financial services, and more than 102 million people are the MFS user. Every day, nearly 10 million people are on the transaction of this system. For the digital services or digital devices, the market size is about $1.5 billion right now, and the growth is about nearly 30% each and every year. The gross market value for the smartphone is already crossed $1 billion US, and for the laptops is nearly $0.4 billion US. And our local brand is the Walton, Amra, Symphony, in addition to the international brand Samsung, Sony, Hyundai, and so on. About the connectivity, more than 115 million people are the internet user, and 174 million SIMs are right now under use. And out of those, crossing 86 million are the smartphone users. And more than 80% of our geographical area are connected, under connection of the broadband connectivity. We have 4,500 union, what you call the panchayat. In Bangladesh, it's the union. Out of those, 3,800 under broadband connectivity. About the digital services, 750 types of digital services we are providing from those union digital centers, and every month more than 2 million services are provided. And during the last 1 year journey, so 10 years journey, we provided nearly 1 billion services to our rural people amount, and we saved nearly 10 billion US dollar on an average. About the entrepreneurship, 1,200 plus startups, and they're creating 1.5 million employment and more than 7 million SMEs who are providing more than 31 million livelihood for the people, and also the funded for the last year for the startups is more than 100 million US dollar. Nearly 0.65 million freelancers are providing services both for inside and outside Bangladesh, with their annual income in total crossing 500 million US dollar, and every year the number is increasing about 100,000 every. So some of the policy support that I already mentioned, and that's it from my side. About the transformation of our society from a rural-based economy to a knowledge-based society we are providing, and we are moving towards our next dream endeavor of Vision 2021. We are under the process, so hopefully we will reach before our time. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
All right, thanks a lot, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. Kindly accept our memento as a token of gratitude on behalf of IEEE YESIST12. Thanks a lot. Yeah, kindly accept this token of appreciation, sir. Thanks a lot for your valuable insights.
I feel honored. Mr. Aryan, thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. So let us proceed with. Let not the winged days be spent in vain. When once gone, no gold can buy them back again. Well, here we are, IEEE YESIST12, the international talent show for young innovators, is ready with some bright projects evaluated for the past 2 days, which are promising to solve multiple problems faced by the humanity. We now come to the most awaited part of the entire event, results announcement of YESIST12 2021. Participants' heart must be beating very rapidly at the moment. Let us see how many of you are excited. Type E in the chat box. E for excited. Let us flood the chat box with excitement and see how many of you are excited. All right. There are so many reactions popping up on the screen. I believe most of the people are really excited.
Aryan, I
Great,
guess we
great,
can have
great.
power to the option. So many can say e to power 365 or somehow.
That would really be great. All right. So great, great, great participants. So we would like to invite all the track chairs and advisors of IEEE SS12 to share the details of our inspiring innovators who are all set to move ahead with their entrepreneurship journey. And now we would like to invite the track chairs. Let us call upon them. The very first is Innovation Challenge. I request the team to kindly release the result. Innovation Challenge track.
Aryan, can you see the innovation on E in the chat box?
The chat section is definitely flooded with the excitement.
Shall I go ahead, Aryan?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, and there we go.
All right. So the winner of IEEE Innovation Challenge track is IC2116 Wasted Potential. We Are Able by Anika Hussain and Ume Niraj Mahi. Congratulations, guys. Can we have a huge round of applause for them? Great. Thank you so much. Now, let us call upon the winners of V Power track. All right, we do have a runner-up. All right. We do have a runner-up, and the runner-up is Water Power Saver for Lavatory using IoT module. See, the name really seems quite amazing, and the project must also have been amazing. Congratulations, guys. Heartiest congratulations to you. Can we have huge round of applause for them? Great, great. I can really see the excitement among people about other track and what are the results. This seems really amazing. All right. So Ramneek, shall we move on to the next track?
We have a couple of runner-ups left in the IC track as well. This is the next one.
Okay. All right. So the next winner is Innovations in Preventing COVID-19 by Mohammed Khalid. Congratulations, sir.
Coming to the honorable mention.
There is honorable mention for Elixir by Annapurna Pradhan and Debrata Panigrahi. Congratulations to you both. Great. All right, we do have a special mention for Smart Dispenser as well by the team Javier, Ricardo, Brian, and Francisco. Congratulations, guys. And the best pilot goes to Lima Norte and Los Olivos, Peru. Congratulations, guys. The rising pilot goes to Telkom University, Indonesia. Congratulations.
Okay, now we are good to go to the next track, V Power track.
All right. So now let us call upon the winners of V Power track. I believe most of the people must be excited. Can we again flood the chat box with EEE for excitement? Great. I request Preeti ma'am to kindly take over for the V Power track.
Thank you so much, Aryan. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. Myself, Preeti Warrior. I'm currently working as a wind and solar renewable resource assessment engineer at Vestas and also serving as the co-chair for V-Power Track. It's my pleasure to be part of this YESIST12 event and also share this stage among the esteemed guests and all of you. So V-Power is fundamentally conducted in association with the World Bank V-Power initiative, mainly to promote women engineers in the field of power and energy. Our key partners for this year are the World Bank V-Power Group, IEEE Women in Engineering Kenya section, and IEEE Young Professionals Kenya section. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all three of our partners for collaborating with V-Power Track in this YESIST12 event. Next slide, please. I wish to go in the reverse order for V-Power. First of all, I would like to thank our jury members, Dr. Panos, who is the Director of Business Development Smart Energy Systems at Ellinwood SA Greece, and Professor Srinivas Singh, who is from the Department of Electrical Engineering at Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, India. I also take this opportunity to thank Dishant Mishra, who is the CEO and project head at Board Resources, for giving a keynote session on his project Wind Train Technology, along with the deep storage system. Next slide, please. Without the support of a strong volunteer team, it's not possible for the success of this event. So I would like to thank our dear advisor, Buzinna Pasik Duncan, who has been a constant support, motivation, and guidance for V-Power Track, not just for this phase, but since the inception of V-Power in 2019. Thank you so much, Buzinna. I would also like to thank the entire V-Power team and my co-chair Ramneek and the YESIST12 team for supporting me in making this V-Power event a grand success. And of course, last but not the least, without the participants, this will not be a successful event. And I wish to thank all the participants who have been part of V-Power and also YESIST12. Thank you so much. Next slide, please.
Before going to next slide, Preeti, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to co-chair V-Power Track. And thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much, Ramneek. So coming to this phase of V-Power, it had a unique theme on sustainable energy meeting the rising energy demands, where the topics are mostly coming under the renewable energy and electrical engineering. And we had 37 abstracts, and out of it, 16 teams appeared for the finals, and we have 2 winners. Basically, it's a winner and a runner-up. And we had teams participating from Bangladesh, India, Oman, Singapore, and Turkey. That's a wonderful representation, I would say. Thanks to all the volunteers who have taken the pain of publicizing the V-Power Track to these many countries. Now let's move on to the results that you've all been waiting for. Next slide, please. So the runner-up for V-Power Track Finals 2021 is the team with the project title Nanoboat with Paper-Based Flexible Photoelectrodes as an Artificial Light Harvesting Leaf for Green Hydrogen Production. Green hydrogen is something which is a trending topic right now in renewable industry. And the team main focus was to fabricate and demonstrate cost-effective, flexible, and efficient polymer-coated paper-based photoelectrode for solar hydrogen production from water in a PEC nanoboard. This concept was really good and very well appreciated by the jury members. Congratulations to the team members, Anupama Thakur and Ashish Sharma. Congrats, both of you, for coming up with such a wonderful topic and also securing the runner-up position for V-Power Track Finals. Next slide, please. This was their overall concept on the green hydrogen from solar. Now, the winner for V-Power Track Finals 2021 is The team with the project title Highway Energy Harvesting with Vertical Axis Wind Turbine in IBRA Vilayat, Oman. The team members are Mariam Nazar, Aisha Mohammed, Abir Majid, and Safa Abdullah. Congratulations, team. So this was again a unique concept which was brought in by the team, mainly in Oman, where the increase in needs was coming up, and they utilized the wind coming from the moving vehicles and highways to turn the vertical axis wind turbine. And they've also tested this in their university campus, and you can see the pictures here. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much. Congrats to the IC track winners, and also upcoming congratulations for the special track Maker Fair and Junior Einstein. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Back to you, Aryan.
Congratulations, Preeti, and congratulations to winners. It's just exciting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buzana.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Now we would like to request IC Team Innovation Challenge co-chairs to kindly take over the virtual podium to share a word about their track. Over to you, team. I request Innovation Challenge co-chairs to please take over the virtual podium.
Hello. Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am, you're audible. Yes, ma'am, yes.
Thank you, Aryan. I think I somewhat missed your call, but then just thought we should share our experience because this platform is so great, and the opportunity we got and the one that we could provide to these wonderful innovators for the excellent job they had put forward. I thought we should speak a few words, and I'm really touched by the effort that the volunteers put around the clock to ensure that everything goes so smooth, and the kind of partnerships that were brought in, especially from Bangladesh, and the level at which the finalists will be rewarded for the effort that they have put in. I mean, it's commendable that this kind of a platform, on the virtual platform with such eminent jury members. I think this is a great experience for not just us but the innovators themselves. So it was a great experience, and identifying the best winners, I mean the top 3, was very challenging for the jury members, and for us it was like it was really I must say it was what to say, we were through and through till the night about 1:45 every day, yesterday and day before, and felt that like we didn't know who would really win finally, because each competition from every single country, especially Peru, Indonesia, and of course our own country, India, great competition. We had over I must say we had from each pilot roughly 200 odd presentations, and from the pilots we finally got 30 odd finalists, and out of that we were finalizing only 3 plus 2 honorable mention and special mention. So I'm really sure that this is after a thorough competition, even though each one of them were excellent, the very best ones have got the final. So hearty congratulations to all the winners, and of course for all the tracks. It's been wonderful working on this platform. Once again, thank Dr. Ramlata Marimuthu ma'am for leading us through, even though with so many challenges. She's been with us, supportive every single moment. Thank you, ma'am. It's on behalf of my team and Tasneem, myself. We are so, grateful to you for bearing with us and still making sure that we come through. Thank you so much, team. Thank you for all the volunteers who supported us through and through, Saurabh and Anuj and all of them. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, Tasneem, you have to speak a few words because it's been you driving it end to end, I've been there though.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So like I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible?
The screen is coming up, ma'am. It is not yet visible.
Is it visible now?
It's loading. Can I share, Taslim ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Ramnik, can you please provide me the access?
Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to go.
Yes, Taslim ma'am, you can please proceed.
Okay. So like I can't see the screen here. Is it possible to pin the screen, shared screen?
Yes, we can be.
Yeah, it's already there, sister, on the main screen.
We are able to see this name.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, Ramnik and Aryan, for giving us the opportunity to speak few things regarding Innovation Challenge Track. So actually, Innovation Challenge Track, you have already come to know that there are lots of the pilots, lots of hard works for like finding out pilots in this hard situation. So far we have received 48 registered pilots. So far we have received 48 pilot registration from 15 plus countries all over the globe. Then finally we have selected 31 pilots, and they have successfully conducted their preliminary events. And as Bindu ma'am was mentioning, in almost in every pilot there was more than 100 or 150 plus of participants. So I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the pilots who have taken that role and that responsibility upon their shoulder, and irrespective of all the constraints, they have successfully organized their preliminary events. They have reported to us. So at the final event of the last 2 days, 27 teams have participated in the global finale of IEEE Innovation Challenge Track, and from there we have selected 5 teams as along with the honorable mention award. So these are the few glimpses of our Innovation Challenge Track of last 2 days. Pooja, next slide, please. So we had our jury members, John McDonald sir, Prakash Lohana sir, and Professor Ciro Rodriguez from Spain. So along with all the hard works of the team members, and definitely my co-chair, Professor Dr. Bindu Thomas, it was of the evaluation session, we had a really wonderful interactive session with all the mentors, pilots, and also with our participants. So already you have seen on dear participants, you are already excited to see the results. It's been announced already. So Pooja, let's go to the last slide to give a small thanks to our committee members and also our advisors. So, with the relentless efforts of all the committee members of Innovation Challenge Track from the very beginning of YESIST 2021, we have become, it was being possible for us to conduct the event successfully. So I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude. I really, this team actually owe this event, and they were so much, they put so much efforts for the for successful end of this event. So I'd like to say thanks, though it will be very less, to my team members, Saurabh, Anuj, Rafi, Alex and his team, Mark, Steve, Bharti, Ramesh, Varsha, Piero, Zimara, Tejas, Jesas, and Akshaya. So all of your efforts put together, and our event became a successful one. And next, I'd like to express my gratitude to all the advisors of IEEE Innovation Challenge Track, Professor Adam Skorek from Canada, he was there. Divyanshu Verma sir, our Honorable Prakash Lohana sir was there, and Amy Yano. So with all of their advices and suggestions, it was really great to have all of you in the team. And last but not least, with the support of Bangladesh High Tech Park Authority and Professional Activities Committee, we have it was being possible to reach some milestone to this event. It was a great addition in Innovation Challenge Track. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, team, and definitely my co-chair, Professor Dr. Bindu Thomas. Without her continuous support, it was not being possible for the whole team, and definitely our mentor Ramlatha ma'am, and my friend Naveen, Pooja, and all other team members, advisors, Bozenna ma'am, everyone, Ramnik, Preeti ma'am, Alaguminakshi ma'am, and all other members, Nityavati ma'am, Vaideki ma'am, every one of them, I'd like to express my thanks and heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.
All right. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let us now call upon Spatial Track. I request the Spatial Track co-chairs to please take over the virtual podium.
Yeah, thank you, Aryan. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Ramlata, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to be a co-chair for Special Track and giving freedom for selecting the themes for Special Track. So we came up with the sustainable development goals, and we selected 5 topics for as the theme for Special Track. So, Aryan, is this does this slide belong to Special Track?
Ma'am, next
Just a
slide is
minute,
the
ma'am.
result announcement. That's why I'm waiting for you.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Shall I go
So
ahead?
I would like to thank, no, please one
Okay.
second. I would like to thank my co-chair Indu, who took this entire special track on her shoulder and brought up a very good team of volunteers, starting with Mitresh, Pramod, Kumaran, Vignesh, Kishore, Indu, Sonali, Saranya, Aparna, who did a great job in bringing up 50 plus abstracts for the special track, out of which 50% was shortlisted by the reviewers, Kaushik, Arun, and Al's team. And we had a panelists from Bangladesh and India. So it was a very wonderful experience looking at innovative projects with the sustainable development goals as our themes. And we had 2 keynote speeches, one from John McDonald and other one from the Japan, Yasuhiro. So it was a very great experience for me, though the volunteers managed the show entirely. And we had very competitive projects with the theme of special track. Already, Tasnim has listed out all the names of the YSS12 volunteers. So I don't want to go on with the list. I thank the entire team of YSS12 for being so supportive throughout this event. Please go on, Ramnik. Thank you. So moving on to the results, the winner of the special track final event is Team Robovation. So they prepared a prototype for landslide prediction and zone-based alert system. So it was a mobile app to predict the landslide and for the evacuation. Congratulations to the winners. And that is the clipping from the Robovation. And the runner team is Team Eco Ninjas, who built this Eco 360 project. So congratulations to the runner team. So thank you all once again. Stay safe and take care. Yeah, bye-bye. Yes, already I mentioned about the jury members. panelists, and this is a clipping of a special track event. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request the Junior Einstein track co-chairs to please share a word with us and the results of the track. Over to you, team.
Thank you so much, Aryan. And Ramni, can you please spotlight me and Pooja along with the screen?
Sir.
Perfect. Yes, good afternoon from India. First, I would like to thank my mentor, Dr. Ramalata Marimuthu ma'am, for giving me this opportunity this time on Junior Einstein track. In 2018, by seeing the enthusiasm by the school kids, in fact, in 2017 edition or in 2016, one student from school were eagerly requesting Ramalata ma'am to participate in this event, though that was for college students, that is Innovation Challenge track. By considering that in 2018, Dr. Ramalata Marimuthu ma'am gave a birth to this track, the Junior Einstein, and I am fortunate to name this track as Junior Einstein. So apart from after that, Dr. Alavi Meenakshi took it and she run this Junior Einstein track for 2 years, and she did well, extremely well, and took this Junior Einstein track to greater extents. And this year, I got this opportunity along with my co-chair Pooja. Thank you so much, ma'am. I just would like to invite Pooja to take over the presentation about Junior Einstein.
Thank you so much, sir. As sir mentioned, a special thanks to our General Co-Chair, Dr. Ramalata Marimuthu ma'am, for believing in us and making this event a grand success. So I'd also like to thank our team members, as sir mentioned, like Dr. Alavi Meenakshi ma'am, Prashant sir, because of their dedication and hard work, like we are able to lead this. That's the spirit over here. And I would like to mention our team, which is more enthusiastically like our publicity chair, publicity and promotion team, design team, content team, website, pilot team, for their hard working and dedication towards like whatever task we allocate, it will be completed on time, and the team was so supporting us. Thank you, team. Next, I would like to move on with the history of Junior Einstein track. So Junior Einstein is a special project which is assigned for only school students for providing an amazing opportunities to the young minds towards the scientific and technical ideas and innovation. So it was established in 2018. So in 2018, we have conducted this offline at Sri Lanka, and in 2019 at Thailand, and 2020 and 2021 we are doing it virtually with the theme of preparing for future sustainable transformative technologies. So this year we had 61 teams for the finale. This was from direct entry as well as from the pilot entry, where the pilots were so supportive with us, and we even covered 6 countries this year, which is India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Japan, and Pakistan and Japan. So over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Pooja. And we basically the objective of this Junior Einstein track and the whole YESIST12 is not just to select the best project or the use of cutting edge technology and recognize them. We wanted this to be a great platform to learn, to get exposure, and especially to get networking, to network along with like-minded fellows, like-minded peers from other countries. I strongly believe in a quote: think globally, start locally, and scale up rapidly. So in a present scenario, the competition and everything is a global market, right? So for that, the students should possess that global thinking. So we believe that this platform, this YESIST12 will be a great platform for the participants to have a networking and to have a global exposure, so that they can think globally. We partnered with so many organizations and government agencies to provide the continuous training and the continuous support to our participants to enrich them, not only in terms of technology, but also in terms of presentation skills, the leadership skills, and language too. Through the partnerships for our winners of this year competition, first in the time of history, we are giving a pass to the school students, as this track is specifically for the school-going students who are in the age group of 12 to 17. For the first time, we are giving them a pass to attend the Region 10, reputed Region 10 humanitarian technology conference, which is going to happen in the next week. So all the runner and winner of this track will get a pass so that they can present their project in a special track which is established under organization. Apart from that, the winner and runner will be getting 6 months achiever course by Tinkerly on AI or IoT or robotics, depends upon the choice of the team. And they will be getting 3 to 4 months of 70 hours of Japanese plus achiever course training by YESIST Global. Runners, winners, and finalists will get this. And another goodie, which is project to product development workshop by Vinyan Innovation, will be given to a winner and runner and honorable mention teams. And apart from this, we will be giving a passes to design thinking workshops by MarvelNet, Panopia, and Startup. These are all the prizes that the participants and the winners will be getting out of this Junior Einstein project competition. Next slide, Pooja. Yes. So we would like to thank our juries who actively contributed towards evaluation sessions. Although this time, first time in the history of YESIST12, we took 61 teams, 60 plus teams, I think. So it was a 2-day tough job. Starting from the morning to evening. Both the juries, Mr. Kiran Kumar who is innovation and product strategy consultant, and regional mentor of change from Atal Innovation Mission, served as a jury, and along with him, Dr. Hussain Mahdi, program assessment chair from HAC, Humanitarian Activities Committee, PES, has again served as a jury. We constituted both of them as a jury board, and they served in an amazing way, and the comments that they have given to the participants were really inspiring. So thank you so much, jury. Next slide.
Okay.
Right. So I think now the participants are so excited about the results. So can we see the power of the junior Einsteins through chats or through reactions?
So how many of you are excited? Just ping or comment JE in our chat box. Wow. That's really great. Most of you are so excited and looking forward for the results. Yes, I think let's move on. What do you say, Naveen sir?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So the honorable mentions are to the project's temperature monitoring system, fingerprint security for bike. And the next honorable mentions are Starlight Health AI Drive Smart Management of Pandemics, Smart Line King. Congratulations to you 4 teams for honorable mentions.
In fact, sorry to interrupt, Pooja. In fact, it was a very difficult time for jury and for the co-chairs to consolidate the marks and to select the winners. We could see many competing projects, and we had in fact a tough time in discussing to select the prizes. That is why we took 4 honorable mentions, 2 runners and 2 winners out of this competition. It's a tough competition, I would say. Go ahead.
Yes. So the runner-up goes to UV Technologies and Robotics and Smart Stick for Blinds. Congratulations to you. And the most awaited waiter, the winner, which is the Project Amrashumbo and Advanced Level Sanitizing using UVC. Congratulations to you both for being the winner of Junior Instinct track. Now let's move on to the next, which is Pilots Award. So seeing some criteria with the pilots, there were many pilots who were vibrant, who were using special mentions like we have a pilot from Japan, like they converted English into the Japanese language and they have publicized about our junior engineering track. So it was very noteworthy for our track. So similarly, there were many pilots who were vibrantly working towards the success of this event. So keeping those things in mind, so we have our role model pilot, which is Academy International School. Congratulations to you. Next, Vibrant Pilot Award to JPR Institute of Technology. Congratulations. Next, special mention to IEEE Tokyo Section YP, which is Prakash Chekki, who had really worked hard for participants from Japan, as he has converted and translated English into Japan for their event. Next, Rising Star Award to Kamlavati Senior School, Secondary School. Congratulations on getting the Pilots Award, everyone. Next, we have our ambassadors. Without them, nothing was being possible. So we had 66 ambassadors across 8 countries, and they really helped us in reaching out to a lot of students, school students especially. And the top ambassadors are Sanjay Kumar, Shivarshini, Shobana, Sophia Fahima, Neville Porras. Congratulations to you, everyone. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to co-chair of Maker Fair, Mr. Naveen.
Thank you so much, Pooja, and congratulations to all the winning teams. I personally believe, winning or getting the runner-up, winner-up, and honorable mention is just a certificate. But the learning and the exposure that you get out of this, program, starting from your entry to any pilot or through direct abstract submission till today's closing ceremony, and the learning phase continues. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we have a partners to keep engaging you with different programs. So I strongly believe that will make you something better. That will add some more values to you. I strongly believe. And thank you so much, my whole Junior Einstein track committee and other fellow track chairs and executive committee members of Junior Einstein, the whole YESIST12 for supporting us in running this Junior Einstein 2021 successful one. Moving on to the next, I'm the advisor for Maker Fair 2021 track this year. I have strong feeling for Maker Fair in my heart because I served most of my time in YESIST12 in Maker Fair. So this is the first assignment that Dr. Ramalata ma'am gave to me in 2017. Before that, Preeti Warrior was there as a chair of Maker Fair. As she went on maternity leave, I got this chance. So from then on, I was wherever somebody says a word Maker Fair, I'll quickly turn and something happened to me. In that connect, I continued as advisor to this track. With the support of amazing executive committee and team, I could able to run this track this year. It was a complete team effort. Thank you so much, team, for supporting me in Maker Fair track this year. And also the the partners and the pilots. The pilots who have given the nominations have given tremendous support for me in nominating the best potential teams to this Maker Fair finale. Next slide, please. Yes. So we had Dr. Sriram Vasudevan from Huawei Technologies India and Dr. Dodi from Telkom University, Indonesia, as a jury for Maker Fair evaluations. We had 20 teams through pilot nominations and 4 teams out of 16 submissions in direct entry. We selected only 4. And we conducted the finale with 24 teams in Maker Fair, which from 7 countries, which includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Peru, Mexico, and Indonesia. So all the projects presented in Maker Faire track was amazing. In fact, I personally got the comments from the juries about the project. Many projects were actually ready for the product launch. In fact, this Maker Faire track is a platform that we designed to motivate and recognize the micro innovators who are doing innovations in college level and young professional level. So we wanted to be a platform for them to, the project to product conversion. In that context, most of our previous edition participants, either they have incubated their project or patented, made their projects as an IP. Many of the projects which was presented in previous year Maker Faire editions were actually launched into a market. In fact, in 2018, winning team of 2018 Maker Faire track sold their product in the venue itself. They sold 200 number of products in the venue itself. That sort of ecosystem we have for Maker Faire. Now, move on to the next slide, Pooja. So here, winner of this Maker Faire track will get a pass to attend the Art and Region 10 Humanitarian Technology Conference. Along with that, we are working with partners to keep you engaged with project to product workshops and training programs. Next slide. So like you, I am also so excited to announce the results. So without much delay, let me move on to the results part. So two teams bags the runner-up prize, which are, next slide. So the runner-up of Maker Faire 2021 goes to 21MF021 Warriors for the project Dental Cavity Detection from Pakistan, and another runner-up goes to Team ID 21MF003 Alliance for the project Starlight from India. Congratulations, runners. And the winner-up goes to Team ID 21MF007 Riser for the project A Smart Robotic Crutch for Paralyzed Patients from Bangladesh. Hearty congratulations to all the winning teams and all the finalists who were presented on Maker Faire 2021 finale. Best wishes for your future endeavors. Thank you so much. Handing over the session back to the host.
All right, thanks a lot, sir, and congratulations to all the winners of IEEE YESIST12 2021 once again. Your hard work and knowledge in the industry really paid off. Keep shining and amazing us with your ideas and innovations. All our winners are presenting their ideas at IEEE R10 HTC, the flagship conference to be held in Bengaluru, India, from September 30 to October 2nd, 2021. Thank you, dear track chairs, advisors, and jury members for coordinating the event and identifying the bright minds who all are set to develop human society with their innovation. Following up, we would like to now welcome Dr. Bozena Pazik Duncan and Mr. D. Jayakanthan, who have been our advisors and supported us with their wise knowledge to share a word about their experience with IEEE YESIST12. Over to you, Bozena ma'am.
Thank you so much, and I welcome everyone from University of Kansas in the heart of the United States. And you can see I am excited. I am just because it's celebration. And happiness can be found in celebrating others. So we have the future leaders, the future innovators, and what can be for somebody like me who has been all life in education and teaching, what can be more rewarding, more enjoyable, and more cheering? Absolutely, this is always. And to all participants, all finalists, I wanted to, as advisor, as mentor, as sponsor, I wanted to pass a message. Putting on, it was already said by the president of Computer Science, IEEE Computer Society. So putting this competition on your resume, You have to trust me. It will make you competitive. It doesn't matter, sorry, it matters that some of you are winners, but what I want to say, you made project, you participated, you committed to research, to discoveries, to offering some your ideas, your perspectives. You were creative. And this is what everyone will recognize on your resume. If you will apply to University of Kansas, I swear that everyone will recognize, because I've been talking to my students about this competition. I offer tomorrow, I will be talking to all my colleagues about scholarship in leadership, in global leadership. So I will be talking about feedback, best practices, and what can be done better, because my research is stochastic adaptive control. Stochastic is for good understanding of randomness. I just love randomness, and randomness is in my blood. So I just simply good understanding of randomness. I recommend to every participant, learn probability, learn mathematical statistics. This is the future, and learn skills. So anyway, if you will put why I say that, I don't say about every competition like that. Why I say that about this particular competition, because of credibility, because of high quality, is sponsor is supported by IEEE. IEEE stands for standards, stands for high quality. I am a life member of IEEE and member of 10 societies. Can you see? Because everything is related, and you build your network, you learn from each other, you collaborate. And here are my 5 C's that I always use as my tools. I don't have, tools probably like engineers have. I have, as mathematician who loves applications to engineering, I have tools: curiosity, creativity, connections, communications, and collaboration, which is the most enjoyable, just collective collaborative. So participants, put on your resume and never put that project behind you. Work on, look, adaptation stands for learning and using and doing better and better. So learn from this. I recognize so highly judges. Remember questions from judges. Remember comments from judges. And think about that. Think about critically about and what you can do better. And prepare like project that when you will apply for internship, for summer internship, you will say, I've done that. I work on this. I learned that. And I swear that this is the key for success. And I wanted to take opportunity to say thank you to, of course, my great friend and mentor, Professor Ramalata, and to everyone and Ramnik who assist on everything to be sure that technology is in place, and to amazing, amazing team of true leaders from whom I learn, who listened to me, and we could find some of the best solutions. And this is what it's about. This is what it's about: scholarship at every level, leadership at every level, and learn and be and feel as young as I feel, because every time when I learn from you, I feel much younger and inspired and motivated for doing great. Tomorrow, my students will benefit from absolutely this event. So thank you so much. And I don't know what those great volunteers will be doing to a free time after today. So I offered them to teach my classes, to share their experience, to share best practice, but also failures. Not, because like in mathematics, you learn the best from mistakes. You learn best from, I don't like word failure, from something that didn't work and why it didn't work. So I will invite all these gorgeous leaders to help me to teach in Kansas, to teach. So students of University of Kansas will benefit from your global leadership, global participation, and participants share your feedback. There is nothing more important as your feedback. What you would do differently. What are your takes away? But the most important, what you propose, what can be done better next time? Thank you so much to everyone, and I will miss, but I will be in touch with everyone. So, thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot for being here with us. And it was really an absolute privilege for us to have you with us. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Now, I would like to request, yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Mr. D. Jayakanthan to please take over the virtual podium.
Yeah, good day to all. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Aryan. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Ramalada Marimuthu for giving opportunity to be participate in this YESIST program, and Professor Meenakshi for giving me the opportunity to see this YESIST in my lifetime. And I thank Mr. Navanidhi Krishnan also for giving the opportunity to me. I could see the vibration, what we had all these 2 days from the start of the day to this till end. The fire in you all and the pain that you have taken to see that the level in the closing summit it has reached by identifying the projects. It's a whole year project that you have done, and now you are making the trial very difficult times in seeing the runner-ups, winner-ups, and identifying the best project to be. Because each and every project which have been in the participation list is all the best. Only somebody has to come on top for being in a scrutinizing way. This is the only opportunity that we can show that there is something better. So in that context, I would like to congratulate all the participants for first participating in this wonderful event to be the junior Einstein or the Makers Fair or in different avenues, whatever and wherever, whichever level you are, and participate and showcase your products or spark your minds to identify something which is better for you and for the nation and which is needy for the society and for the future, because everything in development only will show the pathway for the future, and consistent development should always be there so that the future is always within our hands and the next future generations will be seeing the brightness of this thing and get best use of this. Because for the students, I would like to say you something, especially when you have opted for identifying something or to learn something new. You have to see first what perseverance we have. That is the only opportunity. You are given a 1 year full opportunity for you to learn, and you got the perseverance to make it. Perseverance and continuous focus on what you think. Maybe this year you will be participating, and next year you will be again improving on the product, and again next year you'll be improving on the product, and on the final thing, it is for the commercialization where you have done and pitched. It's for the life achievement and for the use of the mass. So in this context, I just want to say, because lot of people innovate and they just leave it and go. So we don't want this to happen. As an advisor for this, my sincere advice to all the innovators or the people who have participated is try to identify the niche in which you have developed and what is the criticality which you faced and what are the difficulties that you see, and identify, because you have a very big team of IEEE members. See, this is a core or silver spoon that you have with them. So they are with you for big and better guidance, who are there in the life, in a real life, where they are seeing the exact whatever the materialistic real world is doing and happening, and the mistakes are also going on. So this is the opportunity for you to understand these things and make yourself prepared that whatever the differences or whatever the difficulties that you are not able to achieve, you will be able to achieve in the future, and see that these products are commercialized and achieve the masses. I am from Rotary Club, and we Rotary, we want to support you, each and every student who are very much interested in pursuing this in the long run, and see that they are achieved at the last stage, until the last stage. That is what we wish. And we are ready to sponsor for any students, because we associated with the IEEE for this YESIST program 2 years before, and we supported students to Thailand. So after that, unfortunately, we could not see this again. So physically, so we expect at least from the next year, we'll be able to see everything physical, so that the development will be there, and we'll be able to support you from the Rotary part. Rotary is a world forum of organization, so where we push people to develop, to learn, to achieve, and see that the sustainable environment and long-term achievement is being happening. So we are there always with you, students or the mentors or the IEEE people, wherever you are required, we are always with you. So with this, I thank once again for the goodness who has given the opportunity for me to participate in this event. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. Also, heartfelt thanks to our dear advisors. We will ensure to follow your guidelines and aspects as always for our future editions of YESIST12. Now, I would like to request Nikita to please take over.
Thank you.
Over to you, Nikita.
Yeah, thank you, Arjun. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for confirming. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go. We would now like to invite our participants, pilots, and mentors to share their valuable feedback on IEEE YESIST12-2021. Firstly, I would like to call upon Mr. Shanmuganathan, Principal of Kamalavati Senior Secondary School, Tuticorin, to share his views and experiences about YESIST12. Over to you, sir.
Sri Shai Charanam. It's me, Shanmuganathan. I'm really much privileged and honored. To be frank, I'm speechless. Such a excitement, and let me thank beginning Dr. Navanithan, who is a heart and soul for all this success and has been motivating us, and also Dr. Ramlada Madam, Araga Meenakshi Ma'am, and all have come all the way right from the past 2 years and 3 years. Really, we are in a remote place of India's South Tamil Nadu, and added to that, we are celebrating our Golden Jubilee year this year. It's all add up now and made us something, as Navin said, it is not the winning or losing, in making the entrepreneurs and project to product. This is all the thing to be thing. And I really appreciate all the participants, all the schools, and from all level. As you know, this is the time, and this is a time where the real education NEP 2020 also wants it. And we are leading in that. We are so highly proud and honored to have this, and also our Atal in charge, Mrs. Satya Sili and other team who have been doing it. In this juncture, I'm thanking all my trust board members, our president, and all this to make this to achieve in a great grand scale. Again, really, this such thing should be continued forever and make our children of India, because they are our futures. They have to be, then only our future also will be good. Such entrepreneurial activities has to be continued. And again, thanks a lot from each one of you. Dr. Navin sir, special thanks from my bottom of my heart on behalf of my team and all my and parents are really thanking me with the tears in their eyes over phone. And thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful remarks. We will now hear from our YESIST12 team. I now call upon Mr. Heyram from Website Committee to share his views about his experience with YESIST12. Over to you, Heyram.
Hello, is my voice audible?
Yes, Hiram, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hello everyone, happy to see you all in this time. And myself, Hiram from Madras section, website committee volunteer of IEEE YESIST. And this is the first IEEE grand international event which has been working dedicatedly complete for the website. And it adds me a great experience to me, and it adds me one of the bridge to my career growth too. And I also learned it because even before ISIS, I was just been in the starting of the web stage, but in website designing. But I can get now. I can get strong in the web designing, and I was faced with many challenges too regarding the website and web designs and the submission process. But it gives me a new experience and it gives me new knowledge and new thing. So now I can develop a website like the same with advanced features. So it acts as a great experience for me, and it was a new experience for me work with a real-time website as a IEEE volunteer for an international conference, networking with people from all over the world, and got many networking and networks through which I can also get many guidances too. And then I have also then I can I have also get to work with some of the freelance projects. It was around more than 6 months, I think. So years to work, and and the practice of this website, and I have also got challenge with chances in freelance websites, and I have also started and running my own startup company named HeFi Solution with a physical office with this incubation center for institution. So it gives me a great experience to me, and while joining YESIST, it was completely new to me. I was confused how we going to work or how we have to network with people from all over the world. But after that, it teaches me more. If it is the reality is YESIST teaches me more with challenges and other things. So for every requirement, creating new things and creating new technologies and implementing new methods and all of the stuff. I'm happy to see all the, and I also congratulate all the winners and runners up of the YSS website, and especially the participants, because the participating is the first step to success, and failure is also first step to success. So first we need to participate. Only if we participate, we can even the winning is not in the sense of only getting prizes or scholarships or winning. The winning is get some knowledge or some experience. Because while judging, the judges may have, the juries may ask me many questions and other things. So if you work on to solve that difficulties, or if you work on to solve that the negative things which is or the mistakes which is available in a project, then the next thing you can win the next match. That is, we should learn from mistakes. Only the learning which is only if you learn from mistakes, it will be in our mind, it will be helpful, it will be more useful for our career growth in a rapid way. So thank you for giving this opportunity, and I thank all the volunteers and Ramnatanam and all the coaches of all tracks and all committees for giving me this wonderful opportunity. It was a great experience to me. Happy volunteering. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Priya. Thank you very much, Heyram, on your lovely remarks. Next in line, I would like to call upon Dr. Sharmila, who is the mentor of our VPA track project, Highway Energy Harvesting with Vertical Axis Wind Turbine in Ibri Vilayat, Oman. So, ma'am wants to express her views. Ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
I hope, can you able to hear my voice? because I
Yes,
can't
ma'am,
open
you're
my
audible.
video because of network problem. Okay, very good evening to all. I would like to thank all the team members for enlightening the innovators. No, I'm so excited with my tears because one of my students batch are winners. Though my students are very strong technically, but they are first generation graduates and completing school in Arabic medium, and they know English once when they enter into the colleges. And some of my students are got married, they can't able to open their camera, even the presentation, like this lot of hurdles, but breaking all the hurdles and presenting their potential in the international forum, it's very great. Okay, I appreciate my students, and also I would like to thank Ramlata ma'am and SS12 team, juries, and Preeta ma'am for giving this opportunity to them. Actually, it is not only to them, to their community. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Shamila ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for your lovely views. Next in line, I would like to call upon one of our dear volunteers, Premod Anirudh from Special Track, to share his views and experiences with YESIST12. Over to you, Premod.
To below chief guest and our supportive organizing team, every hands would join in towards the grand success of this massive event. I served as a technical lead for SS12 Special Track. First of all, most gratitude to Dr. Ratama, Jack Chas, Dr. Intumati for allowing me to contribute to this great endeavor to share about it, which was such an amazing experience and very enriching of learning. My initial interest in joining the SS12 team was because of my personal connections to the IEEE, with numerous members of my family being entered there. This was started in the month of January and almost a year, which took now. And later on, being a part of the SS12 team turned out to be an absolute joy, place to work passionately. It was a worthwhile experience that allowed me to practice and develop social skills. This platform pertains to involvement cross-cultural working, and the thing which bestowed upon me have taught me to see the bright spots and the hidden opportunities in difficult situations. The best thing I took out is the connections I have made with the industrialists and a wide talents across this global event. And my heartfelt thanks to the generous hearts who accompanied me and were there throughout this event. And I want to take this moment to thank Vasanna ma'am, my brother, and all other volunteers of my special track who have joined hands and who have been supported and who have took a stance to stand by me. And I feel delighted to be a part of a SS12 team in creating impact and creating opportunities for the others to shine. This will remain in my memory forever, since it equipped me with challenges that I may face in my future career. I believe this SS12 team will recognize more talents in future and give them an opportunity, and surely will uplift them as well. And I believe that upcoming years as well, the SS12 event will be organized in a physical mode, and also wish to be a part of that. I enjoy leading and empowering, and I hope to continue heading in a professional career. Thanks to IEEE SS12 team, indeed I'm very grateful for allowing me to share my volunteer experience. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to hear from you, Premod. Next in line, but not least, we have Ahnav Tausif Nehal from Junior Einstein Track, willing to share his views and experiences with us. Over to you, Ahnav.
High enough for you there? You can unmute yourself and you can provide your feedback.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So I am from Amra Sundro project, Amra Sundro team. So first of all, thanks to IEEE and Bangladesh High Tech Park, RUET, and all the mentors we have, because without them, it will be never possible for us to participate in this platform, let alone winning. And obviously the event organizer are so good, that's why we didn't face any type of time issues or something, and the jury board was also extraordinary. So in short, we are truly thankful for this event because it is the first time for our school level. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Arnav, for your views on that. So, dear team, whoever has spoken, we would like to thank you very much. We are really humbled to listen to all your feedback. All points are noted and it will help us to connect better events over the years. And we would always love to have you again for our future editions of YESIST12. Thank you. I would now like to give upon the vote of thanks. Ramni, can you please share the slide?
Yeah, Nikita, before that, we have one special guest from Pakistan, who is our partner, Art and Professional Activity Committee. So please welcome Prakash Luhana, sir. Over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah,
joining us,
hi.
sir.
It's nice to see you guys, and I've been, listening all these very wonderful and knowledgeable presentations from the worthy speakers. Actually, my role was a jury during this YESIST 12, and my experience is really wonderful, and it was very tough, between the projects. It's very tough to decide, and fortunately, I got a chance to see most of the projects, not all, but the most of the projects, and my experience is the wonderful projects were very difficult to go for a one or two or one, but obviously when we are in a competition, we need to even differentiate from some marks and point marks. But my heads are off. Apart from this competition, students and the young professionals have done a wonderful, and specifically I think the guidance and the mentoring given from the Madam Ramalata and her entire team, pushing those professionals, those youngsters. So, and that's why I think this was very successful. And now, in today's YESIST 12, it becomes a very popular and very prominent among the specifically for the educators and specifically for the youngsters. And as yesterday I do remember the Divanshu also mentioned that the students are getting the motivations to become the entrepreneur. From this, they are coming and bringing their ideas. And I do remember in 2018 when I was in Colombo attending the final, one of the they did a wonderful project on the augmented reality, and they started their business. I'm sure now they have done it a lot more. So this credit also goes the entire team of the YESIST12, and I salute and I thank you for giving me chance, and I'm also learning a lot, coming in the new ideas about those projects, specifically because and I'm in academia, and I'm thinking in what direction we will take our students in the next coming years, so they plan their projects. So thank you very much, and I really like and would love to be the part in the next episode of this YESIST12. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for your kind words, sir. It's been an honor and pleasure to hear from you. Now
Thank
we'll move on to the next segment, which is vote of thanks. I request Ramnik to present the slide. Meanwhile, honorable speakers, distinguished guests, committee members, volunteers, and participants, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of my family of YESIST12. Firstly, I would like to thank our dignitaries, Mr. Forrest Shul, Dr. Deepa Shenoy ma'am, Dr. Darwin Jose Raju sir, Mr. Bikarna Kumar Ghosh sir, and Mr. Praneeth Balasubramaniam sir. Thanks for accepting our invitation and taking out time to share your great insights with our participants. Special thanks to our esteemed guest from Bangladesh. I would also like to thank Mr. Kumarappan for allowing us to give the welcome address. Next, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Ramlata Marimuthu, General Chair of YESIST12, for her strong vision of YESIST12, her immense support, and being a strong foothold. I also wish to express my gratitude to our advisory committee members who continue to guide and support us with their vast experience and advice. I would like to next acknowledge our gratitude to our dear steering committee members for their extensive work over the months that enabled the team to organize this wonderful event this year. Thank you, dear partners and sponsors who have joined with us for this event. You have been our supportive pillars all along by believing in our vision and aiding us for the smooth conduction of the event. I would also like to thank our pilots for connecting with us and conducting our events all across the world. Next in line, I may like to express our sincere thanks to all our dear track chairs for their work on different tracks of YESIST12. I would also like to thank our enthusiastic participants for showcasing their ideas, creativity, and talents on our platform. We hope you had much fun attending it as much as we did organizing it. Last but not the least, a very heart of thanks to all the volunteers and the organizing team for all their hard work, meticulous planning, and efforts that enabled us to successfully conduct this year's edition of YESIST12. We look forward to hosting you again for all our future editions. Now, let's capture and preserve this small moment of our closing ceremony by switching on our cameras for a minute. I request Ramni to take the screenshot so that we can later share it on our social media platforms.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nikita, Aryan, for your wonderful moderation. Yeah, there we go. Aryan is already ready. So I would like to request all the participants, all the members on the call, all the guests to please turn on your camera. It's the last token of memory of YESIST12-2021. Why you would miss that? Yeah. So please come on the camera. It's fine, whichever background you are from. We know we all are working from home, and we have missed human faces to see more than 1.5 years now.
Absolutely.
I won't take it as a candid. I will do the countdown, so don't worry. I'm waiting for the members to come on the screen. Perfect. And there we go on the count of 3, 2, 1. The first screen, and moving to the second screen now. In the count of 3, 2, 1. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have a lovely
Thank
evening.
you.
Over to you, Nikita, for proceeding ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ramnik, for the picture and for giving me this. Now, there are a few announcements for our entire YESIST12 team. So I request all our dignitaries, guests, participants, and volunteers to share their feedback in the link provided in our YESIST12 handbook. I also request Ramnik to share the link here for your reference. So kindly share your experience with us, and any particular feedback that you want us to improve on, please do mention it there. And the second announcement is regarding the most exciting part, winners and their certificates. So we may be needing more months for posting the results and sharing your certificates. I request your patience in this regard. We will get back to you soon on this. Finally, it has been a great pleasure to be a part of this wonderful occasion, and thank you very much. Hope you all have a great week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikita. I would like to add a remarks here. Just be sure, as all the guests, all the mentors, all the advisor has told, participation is more important than winning. So don't worry if you haven't came onto the slide for winner or runner-up. Participation is more important, and showcasing your idea on such great and global environment and ecosystem. It's all about IEEE, and IEEE always loves participation, volunteering, and networking. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend.
And
Thank
the
you so
reason,
much.
hey Ramnik, and the
Thank
reason
you.
why we are here is because of this strong lady, Dr.
Yes.
Ramlata Marimuthu. Let's all cheer for her. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Virtual
much.
clappings for ma'am. Thank you so much,
No,
ma'am.
it is all for us. It is all for us.
You're a leader.
Every one of you.
Thank you.
Actually, you have done more work than me.
No.
Come
Thank you,
on.
ma'am. Thank you so much for this platform.
Ideas, vision,
Okay,
mission
everybody.
counts the most.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Prakash
you.
sir.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
Thank you, Prakash sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Shafiq sir. You are also
Thank
present
you all.
silently with us. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tasmin. Thanks.
Thank you, Bodhana ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your great efforts.